Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, Five of Pentacles. This is a good card. Okay, I know sometimes we get worried about the Five of Pentacles. I think all the fives are good cards. Not good in the sense that they always feel the best, but they are cards of change. They're cards of progress. Nothing can grow, nothing can progress if things aren't moving. Okay, so I think for you right now, life's been moving. You know, things have been happening, and maybe they haven't been feeling the best. Maybe we're a little bit worried about some things. Could be either some health concerns going on, or there's some money issues going on. There's, it feels like there's a lot of attention being put on your sort of the basic needs of your life. Maybe stuff's going on at home. Maybe you're in the middle of a move. Maybe you're in a sort of career transition. I feel like there's a lot going on. Okay, things are kind of up in the air. The Five of Pentacles can sometimes feel like the ground is not so stable beneath our feet. Okay, now I'm from California. I'm used to earthquakes and things, right? It's always a scary thing. And really the best you hope for in California is that it's just going to be a little one and there's not going to be any damage or anything like that, No one's going to get hurt. It's just going to be a little tiny, little rumble, and that's it, And so we kind of hope for that in our life too. And sometimes when things seem rather chaotic, when there seems to be too much going on, the best we could really hope for is that it just settles down quickly. Okay, I think you're somebody that handles change very, very well. You don't always like it. You don't want it. But you also appreciate it because you know that when you know that the Five of Pentacles means you're getting a little bit further up the hill. Okay, at least it's an opportunity for us to get a little further up the hill. Now we need to put this card into some context. Are things just going to settle down? Or are we using this as an opportunity to grow or to gain or to make progress or to get further up the hill? Okay, now we've got a Hermit energy, okay? We've got a Six of Swords, that's nice. We got an Eight of Wands, okay? We do have the Universe up top. Yeah, this is a good flow here. I'm liking this. We've got to be careful. Seven of Cups. Okay, this is serious. All right. I feel like you're not supposed to take another step until you understand these energies. Okay. Here we have an Ace of Wands, the Eon card, a Six of Pentacles, and a Six of Cups. Oh yeah. So you're taking the right step, but you've got to be careful of the Seven of Cups. You have to tread very carefully right now because it feels as if there is something going on with that Five of Pentacles that if you do the right thing, if you play your cards right, so to speak, you make the right moves right now, then you're not just settling things down and going back to the Four. Anytime we get a Five, we start looking for the Four. Because things are chaotic. We're looking for stability. So we'd like to see a Four. No, what you're getting is 6, 6, 6. Beauty, wonderful, manifestation. It's a transcendence. The 5's not going down to a 4. which is, again, it's kind of what we hope for. Things just settle down, they go back to normal, and everything's okay. Nothing really got damaged too much. There's really no losses. It's okay. You're going the other way. You're going, this actually is a stepping stone, that this Five of Pentacles is the means by which you're going to arrive at the sixes. Okay? So Spirit is saying that if you plan everything right, if you make the right moves, you avoid the dangers on either side, you can use this situation you're in now to actually improve your life, to make progress, to gain, to expand, to grow. Okay? Whatever is going on now, let's turn it into an opportunity. All right? And of course, you're going to need that solitary focus of that hermit energy. The hermit is very concentrated and very, is not trying to really lean outside too much. You don't want this, you don't want this. You're trying to go right up the middle here. Okay? And it's, you're not really going for the base hit. You're going for the home run. Okay, well, we've got to be careful. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Jimbo the Lizard King, a.k.a. Mr. Lizard. Don't forget, Capricorn, you are magic. All right. Now, we're not going to look at this card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. We can do it together to exercise our intuition. Okay. This is extraordinary. Let's look around the room here. Major, major, major. These three major arcana energies. This is really what we can do. That if you stay focused, so with the Hermit, I kind of feel like if you really sort of, if you streamline, if you economize your life right now, get rid of everything that you don't need to focus on right now. If you really buckle down and focus on this particular problem, it can be the gateway to this extraordinary future. You can use this to level yourself up. Okay? And this is an opportunity where you can really push through this doorway. Right? This Eon card is the doorway. It's a rebirth by fire, right? It's a baptism by fire. It's the doorway to a new era for you. And if we think the Five of Pentacles is some sort of financial instability, well, this is the doorway to financial freedom. Okay? Infinite expansion here with that Universe card. It's the solution to all the problems, but you've got to stay very streamlined. This fiery doorway is not going to let you go through with a bunch of baggage. You got to be lean, right? You've got to be efficient. So in other words, just get rid of everything that's distracting you. Get rid of everything that might be sort of frivolous or extraneous. Maybe it's about your budget. Maybe it's like kind of saying tighten up your budget. Get rid of all your extra spending, anything you don't need right now. Get rid of it. Streamline. It's almost like the hermit is just kind of saying, I'm going to live below my means. I'm going to live in sort of a more frugal way right now. And maybe we're talking about money, sure. Maybe this is a health thing. Okay? That's saying, get rid of anything that might be drawing too much energy out of you, right? Drawing too much of the good energy out or putting too much of the bad energy in. Does that make sense? And whatever the situation is, whether it's physical, financial, or something else, that's the message, okay? And the hermit is the one that kind of withdraws from everything that is not needed, puts on the cloak, conserves the light within, preserves that ember, that flame that's burning in there, okay? Very good major arcana cards. We have fire, we have water, we've got our air underneath everything, and then of course we have our earth energies. And I love the fact that we've got the 6, the 6, and the 6. Of course, we don't want to overshoot the mark, right, and shoot beyond the target and get to a 7, right? It's like we're going for the bullseye, but if you overdo it, if you overshoot or overestimate your arrow's gonna go way past the target anyway, and you're not gonna hit. Okay. So it's kind of not too much, not too little. We need to be right in the center here. And I really feel like it's what I always talk about with you, Capricorn, because you're that mountain goat. And I feel like we start at the 10, we start at the base of the mountain, and the further you get to the top of the pyramid, to that ace, I always talk about the aces being the summit of the mountain. The closer you get to the top, the more careful you have to be. There's less room for error the further up we get. Okay, and I think that's where you're at right now, because you're about to get those sixes. 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, success after a struggle, pleasure after pain. I mean, this is really, really good. Okay, these are the cards we want, and this is you knowing within you what you want. Okay, the 6 of Swords down beneath the surface. You've got the plan already. You kind of know in your heart, like it's like, oh wow, this is it. This is the time. This is go time, in other words, right? And it could be that 5 of Pentacles, you're just sort of waiting for everything to sort of break loose and everything to start sort of happening. And now you know that that's your signal to go and do it. Stick to the plan, right? Streamline, economize. It's all about efficiency right now, okay? So we cut our spending back. We get rid of things that we don't need to be wasting our money on. You check all your subscriptions on your phone, and you realize that you're signed up for all these things, the apps and stuff. We're signed up to all these things we don't need, so we get rid of those. We realize that we could maybe put the cheaper gas in the car or whatever it is. Okay. I feel like this is a good message for anybody, really. But I feel like right now it's important that you do all of these things that you can in order to streamline and to conserve and preserve the energy that you have, the resource that you have, so that you can use this 5 of Pentacles, whatever situation you're in right now, as a stepping stone to, I think, much greater success. Maybe even the summit itself. Okay? And the 6 of Swords is saying that you already you have the divine plan, the divine blueprint of your success. So the 6 of Swords is you knowing in your heart already, knowing in your heart and your mind what this is and what this looks like. Okay, this is the architectural design of these two. Okay, and now we see that they're really here. Okay, and I think that is absolutely wonderful, and I think it's so important that you tread carefully right now. Okay, and this could be the catalyst that you need to get, well, I mean, just to complete this cycle, to complete this project or whatever you're doing, and really achieve the success that we see here. Okay, the success and the pleasure that goes with it. All right, and that's nice. The 8 of Wands in the background position. This may have been okay when we were at the start of something. Okay, this is experimentation. This is energy that's kind of dabbling in a lot of different things before really choosing the path. We're at the base of the mountain, and we don't really know exactly how we want to get to the top, to the summit. There's a lot of different paths we could take, and so we might go up a little path and say, that's not for me. We might go to another path and say, that's better, but I don't know yet. We'll go around to another path and say, I think this might be the one, but let me check the first one again. It's okay to do that at the beginning of something, but the further up the hill we get, we have no energy to waste. It's like you're burning a lot of fuel doing that, going through a lot of resources that are maybe scarce right now. So right now, every ounce of energy is really very, very valuable. So we don't have time to go checking the other paths and sort of jumping onto other ones and experimenting or dabbling in things right now. And this is good at the beginning. At the beginning we like this because it sort of gives us an idea of what is going to match our energy the best, where we feel we really fit in. Okay, we could be talking about spiritual path. We could be talking about a career path or school or friends, family, whatever it is, a life path, right? These are life readings. So this could apply equally to your love life as to your career. And I don't care how old you are. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you're 80, 90, 120 years old. Maybe you're a teenager. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to this energy. Okay. The time of experimenting and dabbling is over. I feel like you've done that. It's paid off because now you know. Now you're on a particular path and you have a particular plan and a vision, a sort of an idea of how it's going to go and how we're going to get there. Spirit's saying there's some kind of relationship to the medical field here. So maybe this is a health thing. Maybe you work in the medical field, or there's some connection there. Yeah. The universe card up at the top here, this is the view of the universe that you have from the summit of that mountain. Okay? This is you sort of arriving at the center of things. I'm really wondering if the mystery card is going to be an ace, right? The summit of the mountain, but then also kind of the beginning of the next big thing for you, you know. But the universe card, I think, really is the idea that Spirit is putting this Five of Pentacles in your place. Now, I think the Five of Pentacles is some sort of variable, some sort of unexpected thing. It's just a situation that you can't control. Suddenly, things are moving around, things are changing, and it's kind of like you're able to tap into that fundamental function of the universe, change itself, right? Maybe this is going to be the death card, that mystery card. Because the universe, the fundamental force in the universe is change. And so you're tapping into that, and you're able to then sort of nudge the river a little bit. You're able to use this sort of inevitability of your life, that things are changing, that things are not settled and stable right now. Able to use that as a stepping stone. It's kind of like you're riding you're riding the worms, you know, in the Dune universe, you know, and it really is. It's important that you focus and that you know what you're doing and that you don't have any distractions. Okay, but I think also the universe has put this in your path because this really could be the opportunity of a lifetime. And it may seem to us like it's kind of chaotic, it's just there's a lot going on, but this really could be something good. Okay. And it could lead to the summit of the mountain. It could lead to a much higher vantage point, at least. Even if it's not the summit, I think this gives you a true view of the goal and of life and of just, I mean, this is good. Okay. In the future position, the other side of your path, this is that straight and narrow path you're on, right? We don't want to sort of waste our energy experimenting or dabbling or whatever that is, right? At the same time, we don't want to get stuck in a Seven of Cups. And I think the Seven of Cups, we could be talking emotions, right? If this is some sort of calamity, some sort of pickle you're in, some sort of, it's a little bit of chaos in your life, right? Things are in motion, right? We could start to get anxiety and think that we've got to do something other than what we're doing, right? If you're staying on this straight and narrow pathway, then we start to get some anxiety and say, I should be doing more, I should be doing something different, let me go do a million other things. Resist that, because that's going to be an energy expenditure that you can't afford right now. But the Seven of Cups, on the other side of it, is kind of this hopelessness. Right? It's kind of the same. Over here, I need to do more. Over here, it says, I'm just going to give up. I'm throwing in the towel. This is quicksand. I'm sinking, and so be it. Que sera, sera, right? So we want to avoid that calamity too, because this is sort of, it's a passivity. So we have too much activity on that side. We have too little on this side. It's a loss of faith, a loss of hope. And with that comes a sort of a resignation into just sort of sinking into the despair. And, we don't want that to happen, right? We don't want to lose our confidence. We don't want to lose our motivation. We don't want to lose this fiery energy. This is the flame going out, being snuffed out. This is the flame burning out. We don't want either one. We don't want to give it too much fuel that we burn up all the fuel and then the fire dies. We don't want it to rain on the fire and then the fire is extinguished. No, we want to preserve it. We want to chamber the coal, right? And we want to use it to keep climbing up this mountain, because this might be the opportunity now where you can really make some big moves, right? Make a lot of progress, if not the big progress, the big summiting of the mountain. At least you're going to gain some ground, okay? It's very good. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent now. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should. It's free. It's a win-win situation, okay? It doesn't cost you anything. Here is that coal. Here is that ember. Here is that flame that's within you, that consciousness, that focus, and it's saying, if this isn't about the goal, if this isn't about my progress and my work right now, I don't want to talk about it. I'm busy, And this, I think, is really what the hermit is sort of concealing within them, and trying not to fan this flame too much so that it burns too bright and we lose the fuel. And so I think you're sort of bringing your energy in. And I feel with that hermit too, that you're kind of like, you're pulling back some of your resources from other people a little bit, And that's not something that that's not something you like to do, but I mean, Capricorn, come on, I think you're good at that. You know that sometimes you kind of have to slowly back away from other people, other obligations, other engagements, you sort of have to pull your resources back in sometimes. And honestly, I get the feeling that you're okay with that you know that to be true about yourself. Anyway, regardless of what's going on, sometimes you like to just kind of, I think you go through periods of time cycles in your life where you're very extroverted, you're all about the other people, and you're just, every day you're just with other people. And then there are these periods of time, and maybe it's really, we're getting into the fall season, it's autumn now, right? Happy equinox to everybody. And then if you're on the southern hemisphere, of course, you're moving into spring. It could be during these seasons, or the alternating seasons, where you tend to withdraw, you tend to pull back into yourself a little bit anyway. And we're just not doing as much with other people. Maybe you haven't talked to your friends or your family as often as you used to. Maybe you're not so interested in going out all the time. You're starting to eat at home more rather than going out to eat. I'm not buying new clothes. I'm just going to wear the same old rags I always wear, right? Sometimes we have to just sort of just say, okay, I don't need to expend my resources right now, that we're conserving them. Okay. And I think that's really probably a good way to be generally anyway. And I don't know if we're just talking about money. It's a joke about the clothes, But it's not a joke about that fire, about this, about your consciousness, about your attention. That's really what it comes down to, whether we're talking money or health or time or space. We're talking about your attention. What are you focusing on? What are you giving your attention to? You can't give your attention to 20 things at once and still think that you're going to make this kind of leap, this big kind of jump, this leveling up, this going through this doorway and reaching a new era of life, okay? Spirit's referencing a tattoo that you have that sort of signifies what your purpose is or what your work is. I don't know if it's just a little something somewhere, but it kind of signifies like what you're all about. Yeah. And so it comes down to the attention, what we're focusing on, what we're giving our time and our attention to. And I appreciate you giving your attention and your time to my readings. Okay, I really do. And I hope that they help. I know I'm charming and entertaining, wink, wink. But I hope that there's something here that resonates with you and that can motivate us. And, I really feel that we're all in this together. And these readings are just as much speaking to me as they are to, the Capricorn collective. All right. I really do appreciate you. But this doorway to the future, right, it's not an easy door to get through. On the other side of it, you can see the universe, right? You can see that universe back on the other side of that door. You can peek in through the window or look through the keyhole and you can see, oh yeah. And in that sense, too, you can look through the keyhole here, and you can see the success and the pleasure of the success. You can see how great this is going to be looking through the keyhole of this doorway. You can see the sixes, right? You could see the realization, the materialization, and the manifestation of your plan. But it's not an easy doorway to get through. It's a doorway that says you got to give it all your attention, all your focus. You don't have time for games and for fun and for being silly. You've got to just sort of buckle down and do it. It's saying you eat at home to save a couple of bucks. Okay. And you're not traveling as much, right? You're saving on gas or whatever, or bus fare, train fare, airfare. It's kind of that. It's that economizing right now. If you do have to travel, you're saying, okay, well, I'm gonna pack my lunch. I'm gonna travel economically. I'm gonna pack my lunch. Okay. Or even if we do need other activities in life, when we're thinking of ways we can do something that brings us outside, brings us to other people, but doesn't require as much of our resources. Okay. Looking for things we can go do for free. You know what I mean? And it's not some kind of anti-consumerism type of thing. I think the holidays are coming up, and we're all going to be sort of spending a lot of money on people in our lives, and all the shopping days that are coming up. And maybe that's part of this. In some little way, maybe it's let's save our money now, so that when those big shopping days come up, we can get what we really want. We can get what we need. We can treat everybody. Just something to think about. But right now, anyway, the doorway is requiring a burning away of everything extra, a falling away of everything extraneous. This is a divine doorway. We're going to do a divine doorway affirmation card, oracle card. And just going to see what might be relevant to this. It is a choice, but it's not going to be an easy process. Okay. We have the sacred lotus. Compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. Compassion in action. Huh? Well, maybe it's kind of a way of saying that, look, to help a million people, first you got to help yourself. That you have to maybe pull your resources in order for you then to have enough to provide for everybody else, right? Maybe this is that time of year where we start to save money so that we can have a nice holiday season for, our friends and family or whatever, or to give to charity and that sort of thing. I mean, that could be part of this, right? We're going more frugal so that we have more to give later. Okay, it could be. That's not necessarily your case, but it's one idea. It's one example of the energy here. All right. Of course, the Six of Pentacles is that generosity. It is having that material success. It is kind of saying, well, the hermit has lived frugally, has saved money, and now can be the big shot, right? Now has really achieved this success. Now can sort of spend the money. Over here, we don't want that card. This is the position of what we don't want in the reading, right? When we're over here, we don't want that. We don't want to spend. We don't want to be generous. We don't want to give away all of our resources yet. This is right over here. We're not spending money, right? The hermit is frugal, right? But on the other side of this, now this is the energy you need. You need to be generous. You need to spend your money, right? And I think we're talking energy, resources, time. In a very sort of financial way, the 5 is sort of money worries, and over here, money worries all gone, right? Now we can spend. Now we can do the things we want to do for our loved ones. Okay, this could be really a way of your financial leveling up, financial freedom. Okay. This is also the card of the team effort. It's kind of the potluck energy. It could represent the holiday season in a way, everybody getting together and sharing things, maybe, a gift exchange kind of deal. But I think that this is really you being in a position that is now is worth those days of being, the frugality here has led to your sort of financial well-being. All right. And we could be talking vital energy. We could be talking time, space, and attention. We could be talking simply about money. All right. Depends on how it's resonating with you. But this is the ideal state that we want. This is now I'm successful. Now I've got the money. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Over here, I'm worried about it, so I know what I need to do to correct this situation, to improve my situation. This is, the years of eating ramen noodles, And then this is now, okay, I can eat the way I want to eat. All right. Maybe we're still eating ramen noodles. I like ramen noodles. I could eat some right now. The Six of Cups at the end, I think, is really the satisfaction and the pleasure. And both of these cards are talking about success and pleasure and well-being after a challenging time. It's success after suffering. It's pleasure after pain. Okay, and it's kind of saying that we have to go through that period of 5, that period of uncertainty, of change, of flux. To get from here to there requires movement. Okay, to get from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill requires things to move around, requires that we do something and that we look at our behavior and we know what we're doing and why. Okay, you're not an ascetic, right? You're not living that kind of, you're not living that severe of a frugal life, let's say, just for its own sake. Okay, it's sort of, we're going without now because we know that we're building something better. Okay, and I want to make that clear. It's not saying that everybody needs austerity or anything. I'm all about, obviously, enjoying life and, but living according to your means. Everybody looks at these these are not very expensive. I find these in, honestly, thrift stores. They're very cheaply made, right? They look nice, but they're very inexpensive. So we're trying to learn moderation as well. And I don't want to get into that whole thing. I want to look at the mystery card. But this is success and pleasure. This is saying you got to live it up, that this is an achievement for you, that this is a success. Whether it's the summit of the mountain or whether it's a nice camp that you've reached, you've made a lot of progress here. And it's important that you enjoy that because it wasn't easy to get here. And then maybe this, of course, is going to take its own cycle and we're going to be back to our frugal hermit pretty soon, and we're going to go through this period again. Lean years and fat years, right? And we've got to be very focused in the lean years, and we've got to enjoy the fat years, but we also have to be responsible. Let's look at the mystery card. That would be the responsible thing to do because this is going to give us, hopefully, the balance that we need or the confirmation that we need or something like that. I would like to see the art or temperance card. I would like to see the justice card, anything about balance, right? Anything that shows that, yes, we're enjoying our success here, but we know that the cycle's going to come around again and we're going to have to sort of buckle down and get back to work. It's kind of like during the school year, you got to be all focused, right? Come summertime or come the holiday vacations or whatever, you can let loose. You don't have to worry about school anymore. Then it's time, comes back around again. You got to get back to work. Yeah. Let's see what we have. A 10 of Swords, huh? Yeah, I think it's important that we recognize these energies. And this is confirming what I said at the beginning, that this is serious. And that we don't want to take another step until we understand these energies. Because a wrong move right now is going to be a pitfall. The wrong move now is going to be ruining everything that you've been working for. Okay? Very important that we understand what's going on here. Because the 10 of Swords, right, it looks like somebody has been stabbed in the back. But you know what? I feel like this is us stabbing ourselves in the back. This is us doing something to ruin our plans that we could have avoided. We don't want to betray ourselves. You have everything that you need here. It really is just kind of saying you've got to Just stay concentrated and go right up the middle. Don't go over here. Don't go over here. And you'll succeed. This is a tightrope walk, right, to get through this doorway and to get to these wonderful energies. Okay, so don't, just tread slowly, carefully. It's a tightrope right up the middle through the door to get to these successes. Okay, and it's going to be really, really good. So we're going to do an extended reading too if you want to stick around. There's a link in the corner. There's one down below. New readings for Capricorn are on Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.